Hello, I'm Dilly MacFarlane, and welcome to the Alumni Special. In the coming weeks, I hope that you'll join me here at the Duet Facility at Mount St. Vincent University while I present to you interviews with some very special people who are connected with Mount St. Vincent, current students, faculty, staff, administrators, and alumni. We're hoping to reach out to the community here in Halifax Dartmouth to let you know what's going on in the Mount campus through our Duet Facility. During the past year, the school year from 85-86, we presented a 26-week series of interviews with the people that I'd mentioned to you. And I hope today that you'll enjoy seeing some examples of the programming that will be coming to you in the coming weeks here at Duet. Just a word about the Distance University Education program here at Mount St. Vincent. Duet is here on campus at the Mount, and it's offering a program of distance education available to people in the workplace and at home. Some of the courses that will be offered in the coming year before Christmas are psychology and of adulthood and aging, the cross-cultural study of aging, legal issues in long-term care, accounting 1 and 2, an introduction to marketing, introduction to English literature, special topics Greco-Roman traditions and Judeo-Christian traditions, and nutrition for today. It's an exciting program that you can look forward to, and if you're interested in more information on how you can participate in university education at home or in your workplace, please call the Mount and ask for the Duet Facility, and you can speak with Chris Beckett, and I'm sure that he'll let you in on what's going on here. About what you'll be seeing today as far as interviews are concerned, I'll be talking with people here connected with the Mount who are working on campus, some current students, some alumni who are involved in very interesting activities, and some miscellaneous activities like our Mount Playhouse that has gained some notoriety in the area, and some alumni who are involved in special projects like the history of the bicycle in Nova Scotia. We'll be talking to local celebrities and personalities who are connected with the Mount, and we'll have a bit of musical entertainment for you too. So stay tuned. I hope that you enjoy watching our selection of the best of the Alumni Special from 85-86. And again, I welcome you to join us each week here on cable stations for more of the Alumni Special. During the 85-86 school year, I spoke with some people who are working here on campus and who are involved in on-campus activities, notably with the Art Gallery, and an alumna, Irene McQuillan-Murphy, who's going to share with you again her fond recollections of a marvelous party. Yes.
In those days, we did both the arts and education parallel, along the same line. And so we were able to get our BA and BEd the same year, which was a great help.
And you graduated in 1932.
That's right.
With your BA and BEd. And did you go to teach right away, Irene?
Oh, dear, did I ever. I found in 1932 it was the depths of the Depression. And I found myself in probably the poorest section of the city teaching. All boys. My first class was 67 boys. And it's, I mentioned to, Sunday, one of my teacher colleagues at St. Pat's also received her honorary degree on Sunday, Connie McGraw-Baird, And as I mentioned to Connie, it's most unusual when you think of that that small elementary school on Brunswick Street during the Depression, and 4 of us on that staff, it started on that staff, have our honorary degrees today, which is most unusual.
It really is.
Morris Keating, who eventually became the superintendent of education for Halifax schools, and Dr. Florence Wall received an honorary degree from the Mount, and Connie and myself. Now that is very unusual in really one small elementary school, and in a boys' school at that. So I think teaching boys, perhaps, is the best training for life.
You may not be aware of this, but in Halifax, Dartmouth, we have nearly 5,000 alumni living right here, a stone's throw from our university campus. We're very lucky in that way, because several of the more interesting alumni have dropped in to say hello to us, to tell us what they've been up to. We're going to be speaking here very briefly with Mary Reynolds, Lindita Walker, and Claudette Sapp.
The Academy was started in 1873, and I believe at that time there was a member of my family there at the time. The third head of the Order of Sisters of Charity locally was Sister Baptista Bald, who would have been a great-great-aunt of mine. And her nieces, my grandfather's sisters, attended the Academy in about 1905, and my grandmother attended the Academy at that time as well. Her name was Linda de Badia, and she was from Havana, Cuba. And my grandfather would come to visit his sisters, and he met her there then. And so began a love affair that lasted years and years. And my grandmother sent her daughter, my mother, and my mother sent my sister and myself. And along the way there have been various cousins and second cousins and aunts and so on. I think there are 18 members of the family who are alumna of the Academy.
Very interesting, very interesting. Now I know that you personally attended the Academy and were a member of the final graduating class. Is that not true?
Yes, I was, and more's the pity because I didn't actually was a member of the grade 12 class. I was a member of the grade 11 class, and the school closed in 1972, as you know. And the year of my graduation in 1973 would have been the 100th anniversary. So we were all quite disappointed that such an era had come to an end for education and for education in our own family.
Right.
This is a show that the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia has put together. They've been working on it for about the past 2 years. And right now it's at the Mendel Gallery in Saskatoon, and it's going to be going across Canada. And it should be the first show in the new art gallery, the new old art gallery in 1987. This is a fantastic book. It's not only are there beautiful reproductions of the folk art pieces, but there's lovely academic essays of folk art and the historical perspectives of Nova Scotia, and textiles, sculptures, and all paintings, all the different types of folk art that has taken place, not just in Nova Scotia, throughout Canada, but it's a real credit to the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia.
And this would be a permanent collection of theirs that they would send either on the road or that they would house in the facility on Dresden or on Bedford Road, Cheapside?
No, not really. A lot of the pieces are borrowed or from other collections or from private collectors, and it was assembled by the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. But they have a large folk art collection, and where the art gallery is now, they can only display about 20%, 30% of the permanent collection, and not be able to accommodate a lot of the traveling shows, like the big Picasso show that was in Montreal. There's no way that could have come here.
Just to let you know that it's not all reading, writing, and arithmetic here at the Mount, we have some interesting tape here to show you of interviews that we've conducted with people from the Mount who are involved in the Mount Playhouse, and another alumna who's interested in the history of the bicycle in Nova Scotia.
This Mount Playhouse is really basically my dream of what a dinner theater ought to be like. And this dream has become a reality here. I haven't really seen anything like it anywhere. And people who have been to Toronto dinner theaters tell me that they are quite different and necessarily much more commercial than we are.
I see. One of the things that gained a lot of attention this year with the season that was presented was our toast to Canadian talent. And I know that you are a colleague or an associate of Aviva Revels, and I'm wondering about, this is the playwright who wrote the main performance, the play that was presented in the main performance section of the evening called Soft Voices, and she lives in Montreal. I know that you had been speaking with her about the project, and I wondered if you can recall any of her comments on our attempt at putting together a Canadian evening.
Well, of course, Aviva was absolutely delighted to have been chosen as our first Canadian playwright, and naturally, like everybody else in the community of Canadian playwrights, she was pleased that we are starting a Canadian evening. I think it's going to be a tradition. I think we really ought to have one Canadian evening out of our 3 each week.
The first bicycles that came to Nova Scotia were called velocipedes, and this is a sketch of a velocipede riding school. They had these, many of these in Halifax. It was a real craze around about the year of Confederation and the couple of years following Confederation. they had these schools where you could go and learn to ride so that you didn't disgrace yourself on the public streets. You could
What a
learn
great
in
idea.
private first. They called them rinks. There was also one, a school in Lunenburg and one in Liverpool. The craze spread very quickly throughout the province.
Now, are these the sort of penny farthing type?
No, this is the forerunner of the high wheel bicycle,
I see.
which people call the penny farthing because of the
Right.
relative size of the front and rear wheels. This is a velocipede. The wheels are more equal in size. The front wheel is a little bit larger. They're very heavy. They had a cast iron frame, and really those are just like cart wheels. The spokes are wood, and there's a flat iron band that rims the old cart wheel. So they're very difficult to steer. They're pedaled with by direct drive on the front wheel. The pedals are attached to the hub of the front wheel, and they were heavy. They were difficult to
lot of strength
steer.
required,
Yes,
yeah.
and women, of course, couldn't ride them. This is actually the earliest photograph I have of a bicycle in Nova Scotia. This is Willie Ells, I think, is supposed to be who it is, but we do know that he was in Tuscot, and it's quite a dark picture because it's an old tin type. It's a copy of an old tin type. That is a velocipede that he's riding, watched by the local children.
Well, now you've seen it, a little bit of what we're going to be showing you again this season for the Alumni Special. I hope that you'll join us here each week. Again, I'm Dilly MacFarlane, Alumni Officer here at Mount St. Vincent, inviting you to come back and enjoy some more of the Alumni Special.